This will
Okay.
be me every night. Jack Daniels, Sarah.
Okay, go.
Nightly conversations with my mom. That is what Megan's filming right now on the mom. Every night, Jack Daniels, water, no soda or crap, Marlboro, a real man cigarette, a woman, but I was married to a real man who dated Marlboro, so there I went. And I'm strong like a man, so you need a strong cigarette. Okay, so let's start with this dating conversation with Match. So this person contacts me, I don't contact them. He's like, "Oh, you're smart and pretty. That's such a sexy combination. Love to get to know you." And I saw that he was from Washington, Missouri, which is like, I don't know, an hour drive. And I'm like, straight up front, you want to date me? I hate to drive. You'll be doing most of the driving. It's like, that's okay. So we start texting back and forth. I think he's cute. Retired Air Force general. I'm like, good. He's smart. Has a graduate's degree. I'm like, great. So he said, I thought you should have my last name. Here's my full name, blah, 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 blah. In his text message. And I wrote back, well, my full name is Dr. Dawn Kennedy. And he said, what did you get your PhD in? And I'm like, organization and management. And he said, well, I got my MS in management. I'm like, great, we have something in common. I got my MS in project management, so we have a similar background. And we're chit-chatting back and forth on texting, and I'm like, this is very enjoyable. I like this person. A huge faux pas, I actually make an opinion known that is not relevant to him. This is the way men work. It's like, oh, wait a second. Now if it's not all about me, I gotta look. And I wrote very spontaneously, promise me when this COVID-19 thing is over, we'll go to Paul Mano's for dinner. So Paul Mano's is a very, very nice restaurant right down the street. And I used to love to go there by myself, sit at the bar, have a glass of wine. They have amazing food, exceptional service. And I'm like, this is just a really nice time. And he writes me, oh, I don't think we should ever go out for dinner on our first date. You may not like the person, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. So I wasn't really inferring that was the first date. I was somewhat being, like just flirty, I guess. And I totally agree with you. First dates can be really uncomfortable. I usually just do a meet and greet too, either coffee or a cocktail at happy hour. And then I get a big long text message about all the reasons why going out for an hour long date are bad. And I'm like, okay, you apparently did not read my last text. I'm like, totally good. And I write the little smiley face, and then I'm like, actually was with my grandson today, and his birthday was March 30th. He had a COVID birthday, and we always go to Red Lobster. And he said, Nan, when Red Lobster's open, can we please go to Red Lobster for my birthday? And I'm like, absolutely. And I said, so trust me, I don't need you to take me out for dinner. I just miss the whole dining out scene. And then he writes me this whole big, big long text about how, again, he doesn't want to go out on more of an hour date. And I'm like, dude, I freaking get it. You want a 5-minute date? I got it. No problems. Done it myself. And then he writes me another big long thing, and I'm like, totally agree. Totally agree. Nothing more uncomfortable than being stuck for an hour with somebody immediately it isn't working. All right, that was flag number 2. Right away, he's like, oh, how can you say immediately it's not working? And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't say anything to this guy that he isn't taking offense at. And I'm like, well, sometimes the spark isn't there. And I said, I'd rather know up front that the spark isn't there. I don't want somebody to kind of thinking we have had this great date and then just never hear anything. I'm all good. I'm a big girl. I said, if it's not there, you can just tell me, hey, it's not there. Oh my God. That threw him into a complete tizzy. Well, that's the man's job. No, I think that it works both ways. Anyway, um, so he goes on to write me that he thinks it's a gentlemanly thing to do to just enjoy each other's company. If it's a bad date and you're at dinner, just make the best of it. Have a really good time and be super nice and just be thankful for the interaction with another human being. And I'm like, wow, okay. I said, but I don't think that's such a great thing because women, if you go out for dinner and a woman is flirting with you and you're flirting back and you spend an hour and a half together and she leaves the date and thinking this is a really good thing and you were just being a gentleman, no, that's not being a gentleman. You like led her on. And he disagreed with me. He's like, I completely disagree. I think you should be able to make the most of it. And I said, well, then I don't think maybe it's a girl thing. But I said, truly, there's nothing worse than thinking you've made this amazing connection. You've had this great date. You text him back, thanks for the wonderful date, and you never hear from him again. And he's like, well, I think that's the right thing to do. Why continue if it's gonna like be. And I'm like, because why not just be honest with her and say, hey, I really enjoyed our dinner tonight, but I'm just not that into you. I know that's kind of, I'd say, hey, I really enjoyed our dinner tonight, but I don't think we're a match. Great. But don't leave that poor girl just sitting there. And he said, well, I think people should just be very polite to each other and really try to make the best of it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just too old to be coy and playing high school games. That's not me. I'm going to tell you right away. And nothing there. And that was the end of that. So then he writes me the next morning after I say, hey, I got to go. Because I knew that if I kept talking to him, I would say something beyond, I agree and totally get it, and how nice of you. I was going to say something like, you don't have a fucking clue about women. But I didn't. And I said, hey, I got to watch the Mighty Ducks with my grandson. Maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow. So right away, first thing this morning, I get up. He's texting me. So you live with your daughter. This is like at 8:24 a.m. What's your long-term plans for that? And I'm like, wow, I've known you for all of, one night of texting. But yeah, here's my long-term plans. I still have to sell a house in Birmingham. If I go solely in unemployment, that's going to put me out of the housing market for 2 years. I don't want to rent. I have a really cute dog. Renting's hard with the dog. But, a lot of things could change. I could get a regular job, which would make me eligible for the housing market. I could maybe end up meeting somebody and living with them, or I could see myself like renting from a friend, kind of like Golden Girls style. And then I sent him a really cute picture of my dog. Because my dog's the greatest. And I said, see that green sock in the corner? That's because she loves chewing on my green socks. And then I saw the dot, 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 dot. And it's like 20 minutes later. Dot, dot, dot. So then I finally texted him. I'm like, wow, what are you writing? I'm seeing all the dots. It must be a really long text. Laughing out loud. Still trying to be that, cute, flirty person. Anyway, the whole dot, dot, dot was, I think you're really too strong personality. And I think you should turn it down. What he wrote was, any chance of you turning it down? And I wrote back, like, no, I am who I am. I don't want to be somebody else just to please the man. Then he writes me this whole big long thing, like this long. He's just like, I don't mean to be, parental. And I'm like, fuck, I'm like almost 60. I don't think you can be parental. And he's like, but I think you really need to tone it down in your dating life. You're never going to find a partner if you are this strong. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hid myself. If I was this strong, I'd have told you to fuck off the first like 2 minutes in that text. But I was giving you like benefit of the doubt. And I think you should just really tone it down. Men don't want a woman who's strong like that. And I wrote back, I need a man that is as strong, as smart as I am. So I was married for 32 years. Hint, hint, you were divorced. And I found a needle in a haystack once. Maybe I'll find it again. Wishing you the best of luck in your dating adventures. You seem like a really nice person. Good luck to you, right? Like, that's the end, right? I'm wishing you good luck. Oh, no. Then he has to come back more, your personality. You're just so strong. Men don't like really strong women. And I'm like, that's what I wrote. I'm like, okay. I've been a widow for 7 years. I've dated a lot of divorced people. And all the men say the same thing. Oh my God, she was so wonderful. And I don't know what happened to that woman I married. That woman I married is gone. What happened to her? And I'm like, yeah, she was never there in the first fucking place. That's what I wrote. So that woman who they all wonder where she went, she was never there in the first place. She followed your advice and pretended like I'm going to be somebody else for someone else so they will love me until they can't do it anymore. I don't want to play that game. I'm going to be, you love me for who I am, period. Not for, I will try to keep this up for as long as I can, because that's why all the people in the world get divorced. And that is my story of my horrible date that lasted 18 hours of text. Cheers.